now, OBS? Good. Glad we got that covered, OBS.
Oh, OBS giving you lip again.
OBS is giving me shit again. All right. Well, anyway, it is 7 o'clock still, technically. So that means it's also Friday. It doesn't mean it's a Friday because 7 p.m. has no relevancy to today's date. But today is a Friday. It is 7 p.m. I'm SneakyDevil, which means that this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater time. Which shall we get started? Max will not be joining us today because he decided to not make sure that the interview was going on today and just kind of jump ship on us. So
or he's going like he is every first Friday of the month.
I don't know how that changes my comment.
Okay then.
Alright. Glad we cleared that up. Alright. Yeah.
Alright, so do your worst because I have J-pop. So nothing you make me read can be worse than what I'm listening to. That's my new strategy.
Okay, fair enough. Alright. So we haven't done this in a while. We actually got hate mail back. By hate mail, I mean lightly disagreement mail. So this is the story that I covered a while back where I said he was ashamed to his family. This is a day or two, last time? Last time, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last time.
Naruto the Demon Shinso. This is the really stupid Naruto Rosario Vampire crossover that we covered. I told him it was awful. I'm fairly certain you've never seen the English language before, and you bring shame to your family. Have you ever tried reading something that's been published before? Literally anything. You could learn how to write better by reading the Cosmo. Which, for anyone not aware, Cosmo is a really...
It's a really dumb magazine that preys on women's insecurities.
Yeah, more or less.
That's what Cosmo is.
Pretty much, yeah. Anyway. So, his response to that, well, not constructive, overly constructive PM... Not exactly a flame or a troll, though, either. It was just... Your story just really sucks, my dude.
I mean, there were much nicer ways to say it, but there were also much meaner ways to say it. So...
Yeah, it wasn't really trolling. I was just like, you bring shame to your family with this level of trash. At least it's in the Halo Star Wars story. Getting hate mail from that guy could kill everyone who view it. Yeah, well... So anyway, so this guy has a response to my PM is, it came out in 2014. Sure, my grammar isn't perfect. Comparing
No. Let's be clear, author. There is a difference between not perfect and whatever you have. Not perfect is my story. Not perfect is Sneaky's story. Not perfect is sometimes Coralaran's stories. There's a couple of mistakes, but they're the exception, not the norm.
Yes, indeed.
People, as a general rule, understand the flow of the sentences and what's going on in any given paragraph. Not your story, where we were consistently confused throughout. As was our audience.
And, yeah, but she then threw like 8 different things into. So that is what I'm gonna say here, though. Is like, and then it goes on to say, it's my grammar. That's what I was commenting on. His grammar. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was commenting on his grammar, but I was commenting on so much more. Shame to my family. What is this, the Edo period? Because you're saying that labels you a troll and a flamer. No. You really don't know what a flame is, my dude. I know my grammar isn't good, and I still need to work on problems, but I'm not a dick. Not only that, I looked at your profile to see if you have stories and if you can back up what you're saying, but not only did I not find any to prove you know your shit, I find this. Yeah, you shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet, especially if I've said it. Do you not get the joke there, buddy? Everything you read on the internet, especially if I've said it, that one go over your head?
I mean, A, it's pretty evident that it did.
Does that mean I shouldn't take anything you say seriously? I mean, yeah. Yeah. And then he goes on to say, if I have a little thing on my my little what's it called there, author's page. If I fave your story, it's a good story. You mean it's good because you think it's good? Yeah.
Yeah,
that is what I mean.
How a subjective favorites button works.
Yeah, that is what I meant. Congratulations, you have eyes and you're capable of reading. Anyway,
Which, granted, we would not have assumed that before today.
Yeah, honestly, this podcast has taught me many things. Like, I'm sure I'll remember something. And I on one hand, I want to respond to this guy, but at the same time, I feel like everything has just gone so over his head, and he's made so many assumptions. It's just better not even trying correcting him.
I would agree with you on that one.
So, anyway, let's get right on into it with Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. I choose this one. Oh. I'm going to post this, as always, in the Discord down below, and do not contact any of the people we feature here in this podcast.
You want to try speaking up a little bit more on the disclaimer, Sneaky?
No. I spoke perfectly well there. You just have me turned down to an unimaginably low volume.
That is because you are a screeching hellbeast.
Well, that's not my fault.
Yes! Yes, it is!
Am I gonna pull you in or what? I mean, you're not in the fucking general, so I can't pull you in. There you go, fucking pecky.
Why are we pulling this guy in?
Because I like to have two people to comment on my shit, even if Max barely comments on my shit.
I was gonna say, like, let's be real here. I'm the one that does most of the commentary.
No.
Well, I mean, his mic is dead, so it doesn't matter. In a world dominated by huntsmen and huntresses, we meet our hero, Izuku Midoriya. Someone without access to auras, semblances, or quirks. So it's a fusion story. Excellent. He is a fractured. So
What?
we're making up a new class of people. Okay. Unable to access any ability of any kind until he is given a chance by his idol, All Might. Young man, you too
What?
can become a huntsman. You are worthy of inheriting my semblance. My power is yours to command.
That's not how that
Team
works.
Strike.
I'm sorry, I do what now?
I just said that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
Paquette was saying something. I don't know what he was saying.
Yeah, I was saying. Wait, I was just like my phone was saying fuck. I'm a bit too drunk. Yeah, according to what Atin said, Atin, if things worked the way they normally would, we would not have fanfiction. I mean, at least we won't have the trash
That is a valid
fanfiction.
point.
Who is this
If things
jam-based
work right-
individual?
If things worked right, we wouldn't have Sneaky.
This is a true fact. And the world will be better for it. Hello everyone who decided to give this story a try. I'm guessing it'll be a small number of people. Welcome to Team Strike, a Ruby Boku no Hero Academia crossover fanfic that's been stuck in my head for a while now. As you can clearly see by my practically empty story library, opens door to incredibly dusty room. This is gonna be my time writing story ever. Sorry, my time writing a story ever.
What?
What?
I think he forgot the word first.
This is gonna be my time writing a story ever.
Yeah, he just forgot the word first because apparently words don't matter as much as they actually do. So yeah.
So if there... Is that the...
Don't think too much about it, Sneaky. Don't think too much
No,
about
this is
it.
actually bothering me. Is that the correct form of there in this case?
Wait, let me...
There are... Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Good job, author.
Yeah, that's alright. That's right there.
Any criticisms you may have or any mistakes I have made, please let me know. I'm always willing to learn. Growl emerges from depth of room. Oh, shit, but it's been bleeped out. It's writer's block monster again. Cocks assault rifle.
Ah!
Enjoy the story. Jumps into
Why
room.
did you put these on there? They don't...
Rapid
Yeah.
gunshots emerge from the doorway. Die, amalgamation of all that is evil. Die, die, die. Ooh,
It's a spicy
what's
meme.
this? Thanks, Zekel. Yeah, I just pulled a Bakugo. Sue me.
I would if I could. Trust me, I would if I could.
Cox and salt rifle. That... Oof. That sounds painful. Izuku Midoriyama was a dreamer. He dreamed big. He dreamed of becoming a great hero to the world of Remnant, just like his idol, Toshinori Yoshikage, or as most people had taken to calling him, All Might. One of the greatest huntsmen to ever live, considered the powerhouse of the Big Four.
Wait. I thought All Might's actual name was not public knowledge.
As far as I know, it isn't.
Yeah. But hey,
why
this
does
is
he
a this
know?
is a fusion fic, don't you know? That means we can basically take all the rules of Ruby and all of the canon of Boku no Hero, throw it out the room, pour gasoline on it, shit on it, and then set the whole thing on fire.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it would be slightly different in the world of Remnant. Like,
Well, I mean, yes, but the problem here is that something I've constantly harped on when it comes to Ruby fics is the danger scaling is a little bit of a problem because it's missing.
Huh.
And adding a world where everyone has a quirk, or a decent portion of people have a quirk to the point where there's a giant academy for them.
well, no, actually, if you pay close attention, based on everything they've said, it's not the only academy. That just happens to be the best one.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Yeah. Like, there are a few others in Japan, and that doesn't even count Europe, America, India, etc.
And I believe it's mentioned in there. Some heroes don't go to academies. They actually intern under other heroes and learn that way.
Although that's rarer.
Yeah, that's much rarer. But
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure it depends on where you are. Like, I'm sure in a place like India, internships are a lot more common because
Drop it in our Discord, my dude.
there would be
Because-
far more people with,
Yeah.
like, immediately useful quirks.
No, there'll just be far more people. That's literally the
Well, I
thing.
mean, yes,
because,
far more people in general, but
yeah.
Okay, so anyway, as my point being here is like, okay, so you can't do aura because hand wavium reason of something grim something. Okay, fine. Now everyone has a quirk even if their aura hasn't been awakened. And now people without aura are going around exploding things by sneezing at them and like My Hero Academia shit that causes massive levels of misery and collateral damage.
I mean, there is an actual thing, like, before, like, the government started regulating all the powers and everything, shit did go to shit in Japan, and I believe everywhere around the world, because everybody had superpowers.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's why they had to like, and I'm not gonna state this definitively, but most of the books and media that I've consumed, where large numbers of people have superpowers, in things like Boku no Hero, and book series wearing the cape, the list goes on and on. Worm. At some point, the government has to step in to regulate it to some degree.
Yeah.
But
And without regulation, if everybody becomes super powerful, there's just chaos.
well, I mean, that is actually another genuine reason as to why maybe not everyone gets their aura woken up, because it's like, okay, average Joe also is now capable of average Joeing his jumping to the roofs, and so is everyone else. Like the collateral damage of a cops versus robbers scenario suddenly becomes, oh yeah, we accidentally an apartment block.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, look at what happens with Roman. Like,
yeah, so I guess, like I said,
Ruby,
I
now,
understand.
granted, Ruby
the
is not a
whole-
trained huntress, but Ruby fighting Roman, just Ruby stopping Roman from robbing a shop. That was the streets torn up, an a roof is torn up, a storefront's destroyed.
Yeah. So
And like, look, I don't know what Remnant's road crews are like, but if they're anything like the ones in Illinois, that road is going to be useless for like a week.
oh my God, Zex. Anyway,
how would heroes work with communism?
I would imagine they would kill all the heroes.
Oh no, actually, if you want a great example of how heroes work with communism, read Superman Red Sun.
That already sounds terrifying. No, thank you.
No, I remember that vaguely.
Fantastic Elseworld. It's really great.
It's actually really good. It's the whole he got raised by two farmers in the.
Well, no, he doesn't get raised by two farmers. It's his rocket crash lands in Soviet Russia, and he's raised in a Russian orphanage.
Right.
Ooh. Where they have no food.
He becomes
lots of vodka.
What does he become? He's not Man of Steel. It's the
Man of Communism.
No.
Was it like the Man of the People or something?
Man of the Block.
Let me go look.
Yeah. Red Sun's really good. It's actually quite good. But anyway, as I was saying with the whole quirk thing and the semblances and whatnot, it's like it doesn't work. Because massive scale misery is a thing in My Hero Academia.
Well, that is true.
And massive scale misery causes Grim to come.
Yeah, because honestly, it's like so many of these heroes just shut down entire cities when so many of these heroes and villains shut down cities.
He lands at a collective farm is where he lands.
Oh,
that's what I thought. But Core does do a good example of aura, amplifies emotions and that draws Grim to them and shit like that. It's like, okay.
Yes, we know Core's amazing. Get over it.
Sure. I mean, it's an okay. Like I said, it's another one of those. Okay, yeah, I'll buy that.
Dude, Ruby, but every country is communist.
What?
Ruby, but every
Why? What is
also,
that?
Atin, remember our discussion earlier? Because now that he's saying countries, it reminded me. So you remember our discussion earlier where we were talking about Tristane and what country that represents? Spain.
Oh,
just because they rhyme, that doesn't help.
No, it's because of the naming scheme in Tristane. It's the same one as Spain's.
Isn't it the same one as Mexico then?
Yeah, but Mexico is a colony of Spain.
Yeah, but Mexico has its own culture and shit now.
Okay, yeah, well, Mexicans...
And they have the better food.
Okay, well, what does that have anything to do with a medieval European fantasy realm?
I don't know. What's anything got to do with the medieval European fantasy realm?
Familiar of Zero. We were talking about it before. We were trying to link the countries to their original country they're based off of. And we had France
right.
and other France, and I realized now the France is actually Spain.
Alright. But I always thought it had more of a French motif with like the royalty and
See,
shit.
you would think that until you look at Gallia, and then you realize, oh, Gallia is actually France.
Huh. Well, I don't care enough about Familiar of Zero to actually have this conversation.
Well, exactly. Like I said, blah 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 blah. Shining smile. Blah blah blah. This person really enjoys semicolons, and starting new paragraphs for dialogue.
And the punctuation is completely wrecked, so don't worry about it.
Is correct or wrecked?
Wrecked.
Okay, good. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna be a huntsman one day, just like him. When I get my semblance, I'm gonna be unstoopable.
Unstupid.
I'm exaggerating what he's saying.
No,
See,
I just
part
saw
of the
it.
problem, the part of the problem with putting All Might in My Hero Academia is,
You mean Ruby?
yeah, god damn it.
It's
I meant to
okay.
say
Atin.
taking All Might from My Hero Academia and putting him in Ruby. Anyway, the part of the problem is, like, you can still have Midoriya look up to him, but the problem with this is, there's nothing stopping him from being a huntsman. It's just saying, when I get my semblance, I'll be unstoppable.
Right.
But, like, the problem is, everyone can have an aura. And I'm gonna be real curious as to how this one does it, because
Too little soul,
aura
man.
is part of a soul. Like, literally everyone has it.
You got too little soul, man. I mean, if the three of us had auras, we'd have no aura because we have no soul.
Yeah, well,
And Max would literally be an aura juggernaut.
Max is always weird.
As to where I'd fall, I don't want to think about that.
I already know. I said none of us are gonna have souls.
I have a soul. It's small, but I have one. Unlike you.
Anyway,
Oh, sweet God.
Oh, here he is.
So
He's
much louder.
explaining it. Okay, I'm sorry to say this, but you'll likely never have an aura. Never have an aura. It's not something you have, it's something that's always there that needs to be awakened.
Yeah.
Okay, he couldn't hear the rest, he didn't want to know why, but his mother did, his mother knew, this is why he couldn't be a huntsman. Blah blah blah, what's wrong with my son? There's nothing wrong with him, then why can't he do these things? You're an 8th generation quirk user, am I correct? Quirks were essentially things, blah blah blah, and Semblance's aura were more powerful than quirks. Quirks were now a majority of the civilian population.
Wait, sneaky.
Yo, what up, boy?
He's said that both quirks and semblances exist.
Yep.
And semblances are stronger quirks.
Yep.
But according to everything we've seen, semblances are quite
Limited.
basic.
Limited.
Well, we've seen some semblances we've seen some quirks that are stupidly overpowered.
Yes. That's
Well,
because
to be
this
fair,
author
we've
doesn't know
also
what the
seen
fuck he's
some
talking about.
semblances that are stupidly overpowered, and some that have extremely limited applications.
Well, that is true.
Like,
So,
for instance,
this is, come on,
Nora's-
like,
Nora's
discussing the
semblance-
difference between the two of these is like trying to say, like, fucking, oh, well, the Force versus Harry Potter magic. It's like,
yes.
Yeah.
okay.
So why have both? Have one.
But anyway. Blah, blah. And we all know aura is also genetic. So unless you're like, oh, well, you see, the genetics for quirks...
What do you mean genetic?
Aura is clearly genetic. If you can
You mean
develop
semblances could be
semblances
genetic.
from... Well, yeah, but semblances come with aura.
Yeah, that's true.
So
there has to be
therefore-
some semblance of genetics in it. I get that.
Yeah. So if semblances can be on some level transferred to the next generation through the genetics,
Sneaky, there's one very big hole in that.
Yeah.
It could also be mindset. You know, like a certain family mindset that leads to the generation of certain semblances.
That's certainly true, but then how would you explain why Yang's eyes go red?
Do Taeyang's eyes go red?
No, but her mother's Raven's eyes are red.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So...
But then again, it's oh no wait, she doesn't know that her mom. No, she knows that her mom's eyes are red, right?
Yeah.
She does now.
But no, she did because she had a photo of them too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And the semblance is supposed to manifest as it's supposed to be something related to what's the word for it? Like you said you put the line somewhere like how the semblance manifests, right? So it could literally be like her driving motivation is I gotta find my mama, right?
I mean, but if that was that sort of thing, then it would be some sort of semblance that would assist her in tracking or something then. Her semblance is literally a tantrum. A superpowered tantrum.
Yeah, but that's just how she is, right?
Okay, but then you can't be like, oh, well, actually her semblance comes from her need to find her mom, so that's why her eyes are red. But it's not related to that at all.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, well, you know.
Yeah, we can safely make the assumption that it's biological then.
Yeah.
Genetics.
There's some sort of fucking, inheritance going on here.
Yeah.
What it is, we'll never find out because Mr. Teeth. But no, we might find out in season 18 though.
BRB.
Atin, you alive still?
I'm still here.
Okay, just making sure.
I just got nothing to say.
I'm just like the author's gonna say something with DNA. Right? I'm guaranteeing it right now. Okay, blah blah blah. Most people only have joints in their little toes. Process evolution. Blah blah. As you can see here, Izuka has 2 joints in both feet.
Yeah, it's the stupid thing from My Hero Academia. The foot joint thing, whatever.
Okay, so yeah, so quirk or slim at best. Second off is something we're not sure about. Not many people have it, so we don't really know. However, this is one thing they all have in common. Plain white orb with a small piece taken out of the center of it. They all seem to have this exact portion of their... They x-rayed his soul!
And everybody has a portion of it missing.
No. I'm done with it. No. I'm done with this. No, I'm not reading this. I am not reading a story where the author comes out and says, hey, look, we've x-rayed your soul. You see this orb here? This is your soul. You notice how there's a small dot missing in the center of it.
Good
shaped
news,
like...
Sneaky. The chapter's practically done.
Are you fucking kidding? Oh, God. Thank you. And that's it. Okay, that was... It's only 1 in 10,000 per year. And considering Remnant's population, we don't know Remnant's population. That's not very many people. We've already screamed and ranted about that part. God, that's so fucking... We've x-rayed your soul and found a portion of your soul missing. I'm sorry, I didn't realize my soul was made out of calcium. God fucking damn it. Anything to say for that one?
I said what I wanted to say. Look, realistically speaking, it's not gonna work super well because you have to find some excuse for Midoriya not to have an orb. Like, even if you just
You missed one.
give All Might a special semblance that can be passed down genetically. You still have to find a way. You still have to find an excuse to find a way to give Midoriya to not have an aura. So therefore, he can't have any power, and he can never be a huntsman. And we've literally that as far as we know in the RWBY universe, that doesn't happen. That's just straight up not how those rules work. Even John, a completely clueless bumblefuck, was able to lie his way into a Huntsman Academy without having an aura active.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is the next story we're going to cover. This is by our resident archivist here at Isley, also known as Mirror the Phantom, on the website called Fanfiction.net. So let us begin. So this is a Warhammer Worm crossover. The Primarch Reborn. I mean, you're already losing points for the lowercase reborn in the title. A soul cast bad into warp is usually dissipated, but those with enough will or psychic might
Can I get a link, Sneaky?
Yeah, it's in the fucking Discord.
There it is.
With those with enough will or psychic might can retain some semblance of themselves. So the question must be asked, what happens when a Primarch dies, and what happens when a war that sees the death of so many Primarchs occurs? Tense error right there. It's occur.
That and a soul cast bad into the warp.
People would think it's a KHR cross. Well, I mean, it's possible, but yeah, we'll see. As a girl pleaded to anyone who would listen, trapped in a cage of iron and steel, a being wandered the tides of the Empyrean, aimless and in a haze of blindness and confusion. Okay, so because this has been a personally submitted fanfic, I will go a little bit step by step through this all. As a girl pleaded to anyone who would listen, trapped in a cage of iron and steel. That would be a good way to end the sentence right there. I mean, you obviously have to reword the sentence because that's still very awkward wording. But I don't know, the comma there is just making it a run-on sentence, because then you go on to a completely different topic of sentence. The being, remember, vague thing, tense errors again, things about itself, a name, you're missing colon right there, because if you're going to start listing things that it remembers, it needs to be a colon, not a comma. He, who, it recalled. If you're gonna say the it's now a he, you have to remember to change the it to a he when you're doing, he recalled. Couldn't neither, and a brother whom it could neither save nor avenge. In its haze, it looked hither and thither for one that could give him purpose, one that had experienced a betrayal of one close to them. Okay, I mean, that's not too bad on that part. Hither and thither, though, it's a bit, prosy. But, yeah, nothing considered. Alright, Arn. Bye, I guess.
See ya.
Switch the clauses, yeah. The being's attention was caught by the girl, a small, fragile thing. The being or the girl?
Well, no, it implies the girl there, because the description's coming right after the new...
well, no, see, the problem here is the being's attention was caught by the girl. So, by the possessive form here,
oh, that's right.
it's implying that the attention is a small, fragile thing.
Possessives. Gotta love them.
Which, I mean, also could apply in this situation. That because they are just so,
Well, yeah,
out
because
of
the
it.
author already described them as being confused, lost, etc.
Yeah, it's entirely possible it could apply either way, but it's better to, make certain the audience knows what you're talking about. Even if their assumption either way is correct. Hardly alive and hardly worth of any mind. Again, are we talking about the girl, the attention, or the being? The being saw within that mortal an image of the ideal he had fought, and he supposed died for. For that, a human could, nay, must, over you, again, I really dislike semicolons. You don't want semicolons in anything but, really cut down the semicolons in anything but, like, reports, papers, like, any sort of, published work that is going to be read like a story, or as if the person's, giving a report, like, all right, today in the weather, that sort of thing, like a magazine article, a chapter in a story. You don't use semicolons. You try to minimize your usage of semicolons as much as possible. I don't know why, but it's like, it's hard to explain, I guess. Take out the passive voices. Yes. Never misuse a colon. I am somewhat ashamed I didn't follow my own advice there. Yes, you should follow your own advice there. That's also going on a mug. Atin, mug it.
Mug what? I'm ashamed I didn't follow my own advice?
No, never misuse a colon.
Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, I feel like we could mug both of those, but okay.
I mean, if you put the I didn't follow my own advice on the back of this shirt, that would be fairly amusing.
Yes, although I feel it would confuse a good number of people.
I believe that is my purpose.
Yes, I did expect that.
There's the axiom about using a period whenever possible instead of fancier punctuation. More or less, using a period allows you to better pace a story, because commas, semicolons, any other form of punctuation does tend to extend the sentence, even if you don't mean to, even if it would make for a good sentence in the most technical sense. When it comes to a written story, whether it's by magazine, a short story, or something you're telling your grandmother, periods, which is set the pace. Let's see what else we got here. Must overcome the trials of the world and become stronger for it. Following from this, being observed from the girl from within its own hazy existence, as something else caught its attention, a small thing, a mere shard from a greater being, fell from the sky toward the girl. The shard really wouldn't be described as a small thing. They're kind of like the size of moons and shit. I mean, if you're going to compare it to something that's the size of a planet, I guess it's a small thing, quote unquote, but I don't know. Shard thing was the being did not know what it did know at some fundamental level. Yeah, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line sentence. Using commas is fine. You just gotta make sure that your pacing's good. Commas are small pauses. Periods are full stops, taking breath. The semicolon is sort of like a way to switch tracks, but you're still running in parallel. It's... If it looks weird when you're reading it out loud to someone, then it's probably not the best way to write it. Hello, Silent Willow.
Oh, good. Someone else to join in our suffering.
Let's see. We got here. What else we got here? Blah 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 blah. Strange fragment as it entered the girl's mind. Girl saw before her a sprawling behemoth as vast as the cosmos, involving envision the sprawling mass of the creature, a small fragment separating from it. Okay, so you're skipping the classic fanon scene of the whole acceptance, blah blah blah. You know, okay, yeah. That's, I mean, it's fine to describe it, but you're missing capitalizations, lots of commas again. They began to squeal and scream in an incomprehensible manner as something began to subsume it within and from without. The creature, now different yet similar, continued to fall. I mean, and what, did it hit the Primarch's soul? Like, that would have been a good scene with the whole bracket scene thing going on, to be like,
What are you reading
hey,
now?
something's different about this, you know, the Primarch's soul interferes or
reading
something.
from Isley.
Yeah, Isley submitted his work to be commented on.
Ooh, is Isley Jam?
Yes, apparently.
Alright, I'm supposed to be reading this after stream. Well, guess I won't have to do that anymore.
Okay.
Is it good?
No.
No.
He has a excessive love of commas and semicolons.
Don't we have an excessive love of commas?
Yeah, but we still use periods quite often. He had a sentence that went on for 5 lines.
Oh. Oh.
Like, there's what you guys do, and then there's what this man's doing.
Isley, don't worry. Just take this into stride. When I began writing fanfiction, I had one sentence that ran on for a fucking wall of text. So yes, you will get better. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you just gotta keep writing.
Yep.
Or read so much that the writing kind of just seeps into you through osmosis. That's all.
I did the latter, so yeah.
Anyway. My thoughts were fuzzy as I awoke and my head ached.
Bless you.
Okay.
Was that already happening, or did the fic cause that?
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to shit.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, I mean, you came back, you know, it's a really hard toss-up.
I know, man. I mean, in my Indian genetics, I almost reek of shit wherever I go.
My thoughts were fuzzy as I woke and my head ached. I feel like that can be better worded. I felt around for my glasses, only succeeding in banging my hand off a table of some kind. It would be better said, only succeeded in banging my hand on a table of some kind.
Or just on the table.
I realize you mean like you said, like she was feeling around, she smacked her hand to the table and it bounced off. But the what's the colloquial way of saying it is you banged it on something.
Yeah. That's just a weird oddity of English.
Hitler and Titler, what?
Should have seen the original. Oh boy, is this the V2? Forcing my eyes open, I got a blurry picture of a white room of some kind. Not feeling nearly as panicked as I knew I should be, I grabbed what looked to be my glasses from a nearby table and put them on. The picture of the room resolved itself into the type of hospital room I had only before seen in the occasional TV show. Okay, I don't know where the clarity slowly comes meme comes from. Because I wear fairly heavy glasses. I mean, I'm no, like, stereotypical, my glasses are 2-inch thick, but I am basically blind beyond 3 inches from my right eye, and I'm blind fully in my left eye. I put my glasses on, everything's clear. It's not like it's a loading process. It's glasses off, can't see, glasses on, see fine.
I just checked, yes it is instant.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, like,
I don't know where this, oh, my eyes are clearing up now that I have my glasses on. Hold on, gotta increase my LOD.
Where's the
Like-
slider on my fucking lenses? Oh, there it
Say,
is.
listen, I have actual literal brain damage that keeps my eyes from working properly, and I don't have that.
How'd you have that brain damage, I wonder?
From being born with
No.
a cyst on my optic nerves.
Oh,
I've even recovered from a concussion.
I thought it involved a bat of some kind.
No.
Alright.
Then it wasn't my glasses that clarified things. It was not having the concussion anymore. They made my
Mine's
vision
just like-
clear up.
My eye lenses got scarred up because of sand.
Alright.
And basically, like, I got correctional lenses after like a fucking thing in my eyes. Like they first did like a surgery kind of thing, and then they gave me correctional lenses. I can see perfectly without them, except I get a headache after a while.
Makes sense. Anyway, details began returning to me slowly. No, tense error. A foul smell emanating from my locker. Am I investigating? Being shoved in, panicking. Okay, so details as in your memory is coming back slowly. Because you just had her have a scene where she put on her glasses and she's looking around the room. It'd be good to clarify that the details are her memory returning. A foul smell. Again, tense error. Being shoved in, panicking, tense error. Like, tense error on that one?
Yeah.
A wild panic. Yeah, it could be, but I don't know if it's a tense error fully, but definitely could be worded better. On impulse, I brought up my hands, which had been torn up as I clawed at the locker, trying to get it open or get someone to notice. Again, I lived in New Jersey. We didn't have the best of lockers. They were fairly smooth metal all around, barring the moving parts.
And barring the parts where the jocks would punch them just to show, oh my god, look, we're so powerful.
Oh yeah.
You had jocks dumb enough to do that?
Oh, dude,
I
we
was
had dents in every single locker in New Jersey.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, this was a result of me going to a pretty nice school, but like most of us didn't even bother with our lockers, but we didn't dent them because I wouldn't want to try denting them. Like, they were pretty solid.
Yeah, we had solid lockers too. We just had very, very hard-headed fucking
13 semicolons. Oh, yeah. Zeke says it shows how much I care about punctuation when I don't notice the semicolons. Yeah, we already figured you didn't care about punctuation, Zeke.
Anyway.
Blah, blah, blah. They were each wrapped up in bandages, not as much as I thought they would need to be. Because I carved bloody furrows into them in my haste to escape. Okay. Furrows is actually a very specific depth of injury.
And a thin bandage
To
won't
be
really
fair,
help.
they probably didn't know that.
I carved in, yeah, like, again, carved, it also implies, like, for example, saying, I thought they would need to have more cover up all the, I don't know, bloody lines? It gives you a different image than bloody furrows. That I had cut into myself, that I carved into myself, gives you a completely different mental image.
Yeah.
Like, just simply
Well,
changing
if it's carved
one
into
word.
somewhat, like carving changes it from accidental to deliberate. Like
I mean,
you can
not only
accidentally
not
cut
only
yourself.
that.
You cannot accidentally carve yourself.
Yep. Plus, carving generally also implies the removal of multiple layers.
But not only that, like, it's a difference between pulverizing and crushing. With crushing, you're like, okay, it's, crunch. With pulverizing, you imagine a mortar and pestle, basically.
Yeah.
A fine granule. They both do mean to crush, but they mean vastly different degrees of crushing.
It's like using the words joyous and ecstatic, but in a very negative sense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Word usage is important. into them in my haste to escape. Odd that I wasn't feeling pain. The only thing I could feel was my panic, a panic that now looked to have been far more self-destructive than necessary. And that thought brought me up short. Why was I thinking like this? I could have died. How am I being so calm? You are actually going to be in a severely different mental state after certain events like trauma. That's actually a thing.
Specifically trauma. Specifically.
Yeah.
The brain pretty much the human brain is amazing in its capacity to shut down and or ignore things to preserve its functions.
Yeah, Contempt, we were commenting on that earlier, a tense error of the inging instead of the edding.
Yeah.
My music were cut off, you're awake early. The first time, minor coughing fits, slight ache, blah blah blah, recover, and respond, where am I exactly? No capitalization, you put a period in, the where should be capitalized. Another thought hit me, and where is my dad? Okay, good, you got that one just fine. But honestly, you've been better off making that all one sentence. Nurse put a smile, and idle part of my brain noticed was likely practice. Okay, you need to have some punctuation there to cut it off. You so excessively use commas, but the one case that you do need to use a comma, there is no comma to be found. Before responding as a gentle tone as she could, you're in Brockton Bay General Hospital. Yeah, you'll be Brockton Bay General Hospital. I'm your nurse, Genna. Okay, yeah, she paused for a moment, checked the clipboard. You're Taylor Hebert. Yeah, nodded. Your father was here until visiting hours ended. He should be back tomorrow, later today, actually. So the other thing is this is something that I had trouble with and still do, and I do have to check myself quite often with this, is you're putting a bit too much action in the same sentence. The nurse put a smile, an idle part of my brain noticed was likely practice before responding in a gentle tone as she could. The nurse put on a smile that my brain noted was likely practiced. She then responded as in a gentle tone as she could. Break it up, 2 sentences, that sort of thing. You say something, Kim?
No, I didn't.
I think he just cleared his throat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Idle glance. How long have I been here? You arrived yesterday, 23 p.m. They don't, they wouldn't say 23.
I'm just sitting here crushing nose hairs dreams.
What? Oh,
What?
God, I'll go let him in.
Oh, fucking Christ, yeah, go.
You keep going, I'll let him in.
You shouldn't be trying to move yet, blah blah blah, doctor is odd, obnoxious headache that seemed to be growing fainter. But I probably should have asked first what happened. There needs to be punctuation before that statement, or a comma. Or punctuation as in period. The nurse, Genna's, I don't know why you put the nurse, comma, Genna's response. Either it's Genna's response or the nurse's response. You already introduced Genna, so you don't need to say the nurse, Genna, unless there's a different nurse there now. Yeah. Once you've established a character, you don't need to reestablish them in the same scene. I noticed her lip. I was just assigned to your care, so I don't know the details. You were treated for lacerations and infections. There's more to it than that. Blah, blah, blah. Next few seconds, shuffling. I'll let the doctor know. It'd be best if you got some sleep. She was probably right. Blah, blah, blah. Line break. Tigan. Is that a reference? It might be. Because I know there's a Dr. Tigan in a video game. If I remember correctly, I was healthy. Made sure I was healthy. So, wait, so this is the other part of semicolons. Is whenever you semicolon thing, when I said it's like running a sentence in parallel to your previous one, I meant it. Usually semicolons are used to write almost a completely own sentence that also just happens to be directly related to the previous sentence. That's when you would use a semicolon. So
I've never mastered it myself.
So made sure I was healthy is not a sentence.
Also, you could literally put a hyphen there if you wanted to put like a gap.
I mean, not even that. It'd be like the next few days were largely spent in the bed while the Dr. Tigan, not even while the doctor. So, while Dr. Tigan, no need the there, if I remembered correctly, comma, made sure I was healthy. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Dad came to visit. He looked older. Cuts on my legs. Toxic. Might have died. Barely fazed me. I wanted to tell him, but I hadn't seen who done it. And actually, she did see who did it. And because you never mentioned, so this is the other. This is personal problem I have, and I'm sure Atin and did he fucking move him over here yet?
He's not fucking here.
No, well, fucking pay him then.
Who?
I fucking told him to get in here.
Okay, well, whatever. So I'm sure Atin and Kilm can back me up here. If you're going to change canon, and then have a character reference this new changed canon, show the changed canon first.
I mean, yeah.
So if you're gonna have Taylor say, I didn't see my bullies, I have no idea who pushed me into that locker, you have to previously have set up a scene in which Taylor did not see her bullies when they pushed her into the locker.
Like, even within this prologue, it would be real simple. Just have the whatever being notice this girl getting attacked from behind.
Or
I mean,
you could have
from
this
behind. Like, that's the thing, though. Is in Worm Canon, it was from behind, but she knew it was Sophia because she caught herself on the locker. Then Sophia pushed her in. They laughed. They stood around and they laughed about it. And then they all moved on.
Well, okay, yeah. So you could just have her not. It's super simple. Just have her.
I
not
mean,
catch herself
honestly,
on the locker.
the easiest way to do it is, her head was slammed into the edge of the locker. You're dazed and confused. She couldn't quite catch what the person behind her was saying before she was abruptly pushed into her steel cage.
Don't use those exact words, but yes, basically.
Like, that was shit I just came up literally on the spot with. It doesn't even, you don't even need to fully flesh out the scene. It just needs to be like a flash or something. Like, just set up something to be like, hey, yeah, I'm not forgetting canon, guys. There's actually a difference here.
Mm-hmm.
Be Rusky, use hyphen. But, I mean, yeah, this is the sort of stuff I mean, again, I realize this is fanfiction. However, fanfiction is actually a fairly good determinant of how good you are at writing normally.
Yeah, so if anybody ever goes like, yeah, dude, you read my fanfiction, and like, I know it's not so good, but that's because it's fanfiction, my personal writing is so much better, you can tell that they're full of shit.
Yeah, like, the skills don't always. It's something I was saying. I forget who I was saying to. It's something I was saying to someone. Look, being great at short story writing doesn't really carry over to long story writing all that much. It sort of does, not too much though. Same thing for magazine writing. Oh, I read a bunch of magazine articles. Okay,
I was gonna say being good at long form writing does not mean you can write good.
Vice
short
versa.
stories.
Or take Core for example. When he for literally years. Big time editor in a magazine company. Tried to write fan fiction, it was shit. But
not really big time, but okay.
What?
Not really big time, but okay.
Oh yeah, it wasn't big time, it just read like a fucking magazine article.
Yeah.
Look, the point is, he was an editor.
Yeah, so the thing here is that the skills sort of transferred, in that once he figured out, okay, this is how you write a fan fiction in terms of pacing, style, and etc., his writing was good. Because he already was skilled at writing.
It's kind of like playing a video game. So if you're good at one, let's say MOBA, Your skills can transfer to other MOBAs, but then you have to get used to the format.
Yeah, exactly. There's a base skill level there that needs to be worked on in general.
Yeah. Like professionals for one FPS are generally good at the other FPS, but again, they're going to learn a lot more new things to be good at that new FPS.
Unfortunate side effect. I know my original stuff is gonna suck. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. If my original stories were still up, they sucked. Let me tell you, if I was reviewing my original stories now in this day and age, I would shit all over them. They were damn awful. But then I read a bunch, and then I saw what worked and what didn't work for writing, and then I did that. Hundreds of people have come before you when it comes to writing, and then they pretty much nailed how to write. Learn from them. You don't need to figure out the whole system yourself. Anyway, let's see. Blah blah blah. Years older, weight of the world. I wanted to tell him best to hide it from me. I seen the look. He was angry and depressed and ranting. Blackwell, admittedly, isn't much. She would fiercely deny any accountability. All better not to drag her precious. Okay, she's oddly suddenly angry. I mean, I understand the anger, but you were saying earlier, oh look how calm she is, and now she's suddenly being snarkastically angry. It's a little bit of a disjoint. Again, because it's you, Isley, I'm really nitpicking over this because I know you're actually gonna fucking sit there and be like, okay, this
means he cares.
That doesn't even mean I care. It's just, I know you're gonna fucking hear me and be like, all right.
Well, no,
maybe I should work on this.
He understands that you're going to make a genuine effort to get better, and he wants to try to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So he can at least have done something productive with this show.
And maybe get one more writer to co-write shit with us.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Better part of the week, same vein. Blah blah blah. Nurses or doctors. Honestly, depending on the hospitals, as far as Massachusetts hospitals go, I couldn't tell you. Hospitals either do one of two things. They either kick you out as fast as possible, or they try and keep you there as long as possible.
Yep.
In a case where the dad, unless we have settled in money here, the hospital would try and keep her, but at the same time, it's Brockton Bay. How do hospitals work in Chicago? I don't know. I would think they have a lot of injured people and would try to get people out as fast as possible.
Oh, God, dude, in Chicago? Well, first they'll check to see if they have insurance. If you have insurance, because whether or not you have insurance, big factor on how long they're going to keep you there. Right. And how good your insurance is.
Right.
Now, not to be unkind to Taylor Herbert and her father, but her father is not a wealthy man.
Yeah.
It is unlikely that Mr. Herbert has good insurance.
Hey, do you guys want to go 40% off?
I mean, it's Massachusetts, so it's likely he has some sort of union-based insurance, which is going to be fairly good and all for the basic shit, low tier shit, but the higher tier shit, not so much.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, hospitals work poorly.
Hey guys, do you want 40% off on your pizza?
No.
Because there's this thing going on with Papa John's and Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, but you see, Papa John's is garbage, and the only way I'm going to change my opinion on that is if they sponsor me.
Yeah,
I don't think they sponsor streamers, but yes.
Either.
I mean, hey, it could always be a first. Hey, we're Papa John's. Read Fanfiction, kids.
I don't think it's going to happen, but...
The following statements are not sponsored by Papa John's.
What is it? Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag could be an ad.
See,
hashtag could be an ad. Hashtag not one.
See, my friend got sponsored by Red Bull only because he drank Red Bull on stream. So you gotta eat Papa John's on stream now if you want that sponsorship.
Oh God, I would fucking kill myself.
We don't show the
No, that's right.
Ourselves here. So like
you can
I could
act like
I
you're
could,
eating Papa John's.
well, I was gonna say by that logic, I could eat the pizza that I bought from Aldi and that I have sitting in my room right now, and I could be like, it's delicious Papa John's.
Yeah, do that.
Except in the U.S., that's false advertising.
Yeah, that we actually could get sued for that.
No, true that.
And the U.S.
Could they prove it?
does not take kindly to that.
It really doesn't matter if they could prove it. All they have to do is drown us in paperwork, and then we're fucked because court costs.
Yeah, true that.
Anyway, blah blah blah. Released from the hospital. Stay home. According to my doctor, I was healing faster than expected. Blah blah blah. I was a little bit stronger. My eyes are a little bit better. Dreams of conflict. Blah blah blah. Hospital. And I'm pondering the latest dream of a giant golden man. I have returned. Whip my head around. A moment of a blah blah blah. The voice was speaking. Who are you? Why are you here? I am the Lord of the 10th Legion, the Gorgon, the hammer of my father's empire. I am Ferris Manus.
Wait, wasn't that the... I don't want to say that on stream, but yeah, give me a second.
Atin?
No, wait, that was the other guy.
I'm
Atin?
sorry, what? Hello?
Warhammer!
Yeah.
Go for it.
I don't know anything about the Primarchs.
God damn
Ferris
it!
Manus. No, it is Ferris Manus. That's not the guy I was like thinking he was.
So I have powers. I expect to be. What can we do? We can do much. Okay. Okay. So my final largest complaint is the fact that the spirit is there and talking to her.
As far as I know, which I will be one of the first to say this is not a rock solid understanding, warp ghosts can exist, and they do exist. However, you generally have to be in the warp to speak to them. Even the Emperor himself, who, by the way, is far and away the most powerful single psychic in the galaxy, as far as I know.
He is, don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay,
I fucked that up, dude.
unless they introduced someone I didn't know about, he is far and away the single most powerful psychic.
He's the most powerful human psychic.
Yeah.
Yes. He can't. Like, he's proper dead, and he can't talk to people in the warp.
You know, I think he can talk to people in the warp. That's because he's literally...
I mean, maybe in the warp, but he certainly can't talk to people in real space.
Yeah, he got talk in real space.
Yeah, no.
Unless he gets a text-to-speech device.
Get the fuck out. No, like I said, my main problem here is that the spirit is somehow, like, actually, like, fully there. I realize and I understand that supposedly Queen Administrator, like, got subsumed by the Primarch's warp spirit. But, like, if anything, that wouldn't make, like, a fully materialized Primarch. That would,
Also,
like...
I see a big thing about the warp ghosts being, like, for them to make somebody a medium, that person would have to be, one, a psyker, and two, he would have to be a strong enough psyker to get the warp's attention. And that's no easy task.
Well, to me, one of the biggest problems with this is, like, if it was just like if it was just forcing impulses on her, like real brute low level quote psychic communications, I could understand that. But again, as far as I know, the only one of the Primarchs that even touched psychering was Magnus,
The Red, and we know what happened to him.
Okay, to be fair,
not only
technically not Magnus's fault.
And not only that, the whole thing with okay, I accept. Okay, so the warp spirits inside the QA somehow. Okay, fine. However, small problem there with materializing the ghost still is that that would imply that the connection between Taylor and QA is fully open, which would mean QA would overwrite her brain.
Wait, Atin, Lorgar was also what do you call a psyker, and to some extent so was Lehman Russ.
Really,
Yeah,
Lehman?
If anything, I would expect a
Lehman Russ had that psychic
Since
howl
when did
thingy.
Lehman have anything to do with the warp?
Alright, see, Lehman Russ, he was supposed to be an anti-psyker, but he had like the psychic howl, which they like mentioned a couple times. Lorgar was there. He was definitely there, yeah.
Okay, I know about Lorgar, but
all the Primarchs did have psychic talents to varying degrees.
And I'm not
yes,
saying
but
they
whether or not they actually were able to
Yeah.
use them and develop them.
No, that's the thing, they did. Lorgar did, Sanguinius did, Korax did. Yeah. I think even Kurz did.
But did Ferris?
No.
Just say that's the important part. Did Ferris?
See,
But
that-
then again, he had inherent psychic potential. Maybe after being in the warp, he started to develop it.
And anyway, as I was going to branch off of Atin's idea, before we move on, if we're going to go with the whole, it's completely normal worm powers, so that means no overriding of Taylor's brain, but it also means no full-on ghost communication, instead just impulses. So she's getting a bunch of impulses to save humanity and raise up her fellow man and whatever.
Also, yeah, one more thing. Almost every single psyker, Primarch that had like something to do with like psyker powers, it was ahead of a Traitor Legion or something like that.
Fair enough.
That is also an excellent point.
Yeah, because they were the first ones that they were like, yeah, you can get to these guys to our side.
If
And most of
anything,
them are
I would
not
expect minor biotinkerism out of a QA, out of a Manus. Yeah, out of the Manus possessed QA, I would expect minor biotinkerism. Some
And
sort
metal
of psychic
hands.
network with her subjects.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what even did Manus do? Like,
Well, he had the chin of 100 men, and he had iron hands. That's all I remember.
yeah, like unfortunately, Manus is not the most iconic of Prime. Like if you had it be Lehman Russ, you could have her suddenly have her like really dig wolves. Maybe she gets along with bitch better.
Invents a
and
tank.
Give her have her make tanks.
Like,
The tanks are ultimately inferior to Baneblades, but hey, whatever.
you gotta keep in mind when you're gonna do this whole, like, oh, it's a shard possessed by a blank. Okay, it's like, okay. But the shard is still there. Everything that grants the powers with that shard is still there.
You could have just replace a Primarch with the Catan shard, and it'd be so much easier.
Yeah. Well, so it's just like, if you're gonna go for the whole, oh, it's being possessed by a Primarch, then you're gonna have to really figure out how the Primarch soul modified the shard in terms of what powers it gives Taylor. Because Queen Administrator is the Queen Administrator of shards at full power. It's administrator.
Wait, there's
of
shards in there's shards in what's it called?
Worm.
In Worm.
Yes, that's
Because
where
there's
yes.
also shards in Warhammer.
All
You basically
powers
just fragment
are
the-
derived from shards, which are extra-dimensional entities that attach to a small
Yeah, but-
portal in your brain.
Then there's already like a Worm crossover waiting to happen because all the Satan are their powers are kind of fragmented into shards at this point.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to really think about how a modified shard would be given her powers. Like, okay, is it going to turn her into the Primarch? Is it going to turn her into Primarch-like? Are the shards going to be able to pass through the genetic barrier that prevented female Primarchs?
Yeah.
Is she going to grow a dick?
Plus Ferris
These are
Manus.
very important questions, Isley.
Like Ferris Manus is possibly the most who was he of the Primarchs? I mean, Korax has more lore than Ferris Manus does.
I mean, I can
And-
sort of... Yeah.
Like again, as far as I know, like getting possessed by Manus isn't gonna give you any kind of really cool stuff.
Well, he did have metal hands, as I said before, and a really, really strong jawline.
Yeah, okay, but like if you go with Magnus, you have a psyker. If you go with Lehman Russ, you have tanks.
If
and
you
a
go
massive
if you
ego.
go with Sanguinius, you have wings.
If
Okay,
you go
Isley,
with Corvus
Isley.
Corax,
Your
you
original
have a
idea was she
sneaky
would turn into a mini Ferris. So what? Did she grow a dick? You still not answering the question, Isley. That's a very
what about
important
the
question.
jawline? The chin of 100 men.
Anyway, enough poking fun at Isley. Isley, if you want more help, hop on the Discord, get into the writing channel, and like actually stay there, and we'll definitely help you. It's just
Wait, no, that reminds me. Ferris Manus did have a thunder hammer.
Okay.
Okay, yes, so Thunderhammer, but still, like, not as interesting as, like, Corvus Corax, or, what was the one who was literally just a barbarian?
Jagatai Khan? Jagatai Khan was like a barbarian.
Yeah, no, but there was one who was just, like, permanently angry.
Jagatai Khan, yeah.
Gladiator pits.
Alright, so, just to make Isley feel better about his absolutely poorly executed idea, we're gonna cover this StarCraft Worm crossover. After ascending out of the universe following Iman's defeat, newborn Xel'Naga Sarah Kerrigan saw something she didn't like in many universes away. Now the people of Earthbet must evolve if they want to survive, starting with Taylor Herbert.
See, now Atin's got me stuck on, like, a very angry Primarch, and I'm looking at them, and they all look angry.
No,
Trigger warning!
There was one who was raised in, like, a gladiatorial fight pit.
Fuck you all. Trigger warning,
I'm checking.
suicidal thoughts.
Okay, so, hey, I think we read this, or, like, I think we read this one?
No,
But
no,
even
there's
if we
no
haven't-
way we read this one.
I thought we covered something with Xel'Naga Kerrigan already. That might have just been Xel'Naga Kerrigan somewhere else. Anyway. Look, as far as we know... Well, A, we don't really know anything about Xel'Naga Kerrigan's powers, so fine, whatever.
But we know she can shoot a giant beam of fuck you.
We do know that. Like, how is she getting interested in something, like, 6 million miles away?
Because
Multiple
fuck you,
universes away.
authorial way hand waving.
And even if she does, Sarah Kerrigan would not think much of Taylor Herbert.
No, she wouldn't. I was standing at the
Everything
edge
I
of the bay.
know about Sarah Kerrigan
Oh.
would look at Taylor Herbert and think, you are weak.
Hey, here you go. I was standing at the edge of the bay with a pocket full of rocks. It was for the best. I don't have a life anymore. My name is Taylor Herbert. A while back, my best friend in the world, Emma, turned against me.
Oh, I got it, Atin, I got it. It was literally Angron. Anger's in his
Yeah,
name.
it's in the fucking right there. It's in the goddamn chat, dude. Literally, you are slow. Oh, I think we did cover this.
I told you!
Alright.
I'm not crazy this
That
time.
means we don't have to cover it. Good. Excellent.
But like you said, just by closing thoughts on this, Sarah Kerrigan would look at Taylor Herbert and just see a weak, sad.
Wait, is this Kerrigan after she got her
Yes, this is
makeover,
Kerrigan
or is
after
she...
ascending to godliness.
Yes.
Alright, yeah. The old one would be like, oh, nice kid.
No,
Son of a
even
scorpion.
Old Kerrigan. Like,
What if
any
John
Kerrigan,
was son of Tyrion?
Any Kerrigan after like the 5th mission of StarCraft 1 would not care.
Well, technically, I'm just talking about beginning Kerrigan today.
Early beginning Kerrigan, maybe, but
Yeah.
What if John was son of Tyrion? Silent Spear here. This story was inspired to me when I saw Ruby Volume 4, Episode 6, where Tyrion was interested of John.
okay.
And I don't have anything else to be said, so without further ado, let us begin.
Oh, do we have to begin, author? I would much rather we not begin.
Then don't begin.
Implying that Tyrion did the sex enough to have 8 kids.
Wait, he has
John.
8 kids.
Yeah, John felt guilty because he's got 7 sisters.
Oh yeah, fuck.
No, to be fair, he could just be adopted.
John felt guilty of what he did to his family. In his mind, he felt like scum for doing what he did. Flashback. Big brother, where are you going? Asked John's sister, Nancy, as she watched him pack his stuff. Nancy, can you promise me something? John asked his little sister. What is it, big brother? Asked Nancy. Promise me you'll tell nobody before I can't stay here anymore.
The author is including far too many redundant descriptors.
In all of
Big
its
brother,
one giant
where are you
block
going?
of dialogue.
Asked John's sister Nancy. We don't need to know that it's his sister because she just called him Big Brother.
Yeah.
Yep. Plus,
And
Nancy,
further,
really?
we don't need to be told that he's asking his little sister because, again, she's called him Big Brother.
Yeah, plus, like, what was it called? Yeah. What
Also,
about the
spacing.
color naming rule? Color naming rule. What happened to that?
Paragraphal spacing, please.
Yes, that too. Also, as Kill said, color rule being handily ignored.
Okay, now to be fair, I do not blame people for not following the color rule when it comes to naming their kids. There's only so many names out there.
Where are there?
And not
like,
all of them make good names
saying,
for children.
The vast majority.
Anyway. Promise me you will tell nobody, for I can't stay here anymore, John said. Where are you going, Nancy asked. Somewhere far, far away. But big brother, why are you going? Did I do something wrong? Is it because I broke your favorite X-ray Vav comic? I'm sorry about mommy and daddy. Why are we leaving? Don't you love us all? Nancy said she didn't tear up. No, it's not that I do love you all, John reassured his little sister. But why are you going, Nancy said swift.
Oh my god, Sneaky, give it a rest.
Okay, so I was just looking for, like, meanings and names, and I just found out that Atin, in my language, means the Great One.
Well, I didn't know that, because I stole it from Mandalorian, where it just means stubborn.
Over here, it's the Great One.
Well, that's an unintentional bit of ego inflation.
John reassured his little sister. But why are you going then? Nancy said as she sniffed. It's because I want to go their possessive form to get stronger.
Okay, listen, it's already, like, it's skipping. Like, my mind is just skipping this story.
John said, but Daddy already trained you. You don't need to go. Please don't leave, Nancy sobbed as she tightly gripped her brother. But I want to so I can become a hero like in your stories to protect others and protect you. But
wait, is Tyrion the one with the big ass tail thing?
Yeah, that's Tyrion.
Tyrion's the psychotic scorpion dude.
So doesn't that mean that to some extent John would also be Faunus?
Well, listen, anyone who was raised by him would have to be more than a little unhinged.
I'm talking about Faunus, not unhinged. I mean, unhinged is...
Oh, well, yes,
is there a story that goes, what if John was a girl? Oh, there's plenty out there. They all have John as his actual name.
Oh, there are lots of those. I recommend you stay away from them.
Yep.
They all have John's name spelled the female form of what his character was based off of. Jean d'Arc.
No, wait, I was trying to spell it out. Yeah, that one.
No, it's... I don't know if you're shit posting or not.
I'm shit posting,
Okay,
man.
good. I mean, some people don't know about Jean d'Arc.
That one.
Yeah. Or just Jean, depending on who you talk to.
Or Johnny Boy.
And Ark never goes back on the word, she said while managing to give a faint smile, and Ark never goes back on Gose? Gauze? Goose?
I don't fucking know.
John said before leaving Nancy as he left as he began to cry from guilt. Why is there another quotation mark there? Flashback over. I'm so sorry for doing this to you guys, but I have no choice. This might be the only way that I can be able to gain control. John thought before stepping out of the bullhead and gazing at the beauty that is Beacon Academy. John simply stared at the castle until he heard an explosion and quickly ran to see what happened there. Possessive form there. He saw 3 people, one of which fueled him with disgust. Fueled him with disgust.
Everything checks out. Carry on.
Those racist little I should calm down. No, calm down, John. No, don't lose it. Don't lose control. John thought as he tried to calm himself down. Once he calmed himself down, he noted that only one in red was left feeling pity. He went up to her. First thing he noticed was her silver eyes. So silver-eyed people still exist, who knew? John thought before speaking to Silver-Eyed Riding Hood. Hi, I'm John.
Good lord, why does this person hate spacing and punctuation?
And pacing. And
pacing.
Generally English. I have no idea how to unignore Cruel, so I have to read his comments on stream. I don't know what that means, my dude.
I think he means he blocked him on Discord.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe he means he blocked him on Twitch. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But you can block people on Twitch?
You can unblock people by right-clicking them and hitting unblock. Or messaging them, and then it says you can't message this person because they're blocked, and then you hit unblock.
Yeah. Or just don't do it.
Yeah. Or don't be a little bitch, Vic. Hi, I'm John, he said before extending out his hand to her. Ruby, the girl now known as Ruby, said as she excerpted.
I think it was extended, but horribly butchered.
I mean, this person has a very fundamental understanding of the English language. I love that.
Oh, I don't know how to unignore Cruel on Twitch. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. I don't block people.
Keep me on this channel.
Hey, what's with the trench coat? Oh boy, trench
coat.
coat.
He's got a trench coat.
Couple minutes later. In my opinion, trench coats are fashionable and looks cool.
First of all, I just hate this author and their transitions.
I mean, there's a lot more, but sure, if that's what you want to pick on, go for it.
No, no. I've been hating on a lot of his stuff. I just felt the need to express the hatred for that in particular.
No, he's one of those, don't worry. It's like one brick of text, transition line. One brick of text, transition line. It's like he's building a house. Brick cement.
Oh
brick
boy!
Cement.
What do you have, John? Oh, well, you know, I just have these. He activates his two hidden wrist blades from his wrists. My weapon is called Pince's Noir.
My weapon is called I wanted to play Assassin's Creed.
They also both have built-in hidden gun barrels and can also turn into swords, like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. And they can also form into a shield. And they can also bake toast. And they can also do my homework. Oh my god, that's so cool, John! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Ruby cried in delight from how cool the weapon was.
Hey, author, you want to quit, you want to quit stroking yourself there?
No. Atin.
What?
Are you actively enjoying this?
What do you think?
Yes.
Eat it.
Blah, 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 blah. Ruby, I saved you a spot. Oh, that's my sister. Would you like to meet her? Sure, I don't see why not. John excerpted, but he was thinking something else. Sister, there's no resemblance at all. 3 exclamation points. He thought surprised. Hey sis, how it going? The blonde said before noticing the fellow blonde in the group. Ruby, who's this? The blonde girl asked with bit of suspicion in voice. Yang, meet my friend John. John, meet my sister Yang. Ruby introduced, apparently unaware of the death glares her sister was sending to her friend. What's with the trench coat? Yang asked, suspicious of the communist in amongst them.
Stop that.
But why the... Okay, so can somebody explain why every fanfiction author seems to think that trench coats are cool? Because I own one and they're not.
Because every fanfiction author is an edgy edgelord of edginess who likes to milady people.
Oh yeah, that explains fedoras as well. I wonder if
I will admit, I had a friend once who was a communist, and he wore a trench coat, and his hair was super greased and slicked back. And I one time went out to meet him in my
undies.
Atin remembers my outfit from college.
Oh, you mean the one that made you look utterly ridiculous?
The one that made me look like I was gonna join a biker gang?
Oh yes, that one.
Yeah.
Did he have a leather jacket and chains?
No leather jacket and chains, just a vest, bandana, leather gloves with fingerless.
Oh yeah, bandana.
Good times, good times.
Hey, look, it still wasn't as bad as the kid who literally wore a trench coat every single day and it smelled like he didn't wash it ever.
Yeah.
It's understandable. I went to classes in a shorts and a t-shirt. That's literally all I
Anyway,
have.
so long short of the story is me and the communist met in a mall, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, are they about to shoot up the place or something?"
You met in a mall?
Yeah.
Oh
we
wow.
met in a mall.
Sneaky.
That icon of communist culture, the mall.
I mean, yeah, duh. Oh, what were you
No one
saying?
said he
Ed?
was a good communist.
I mean, there are good communists.
You know what I mean. Like, good.
Oh yeah, I get it. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. So, look, I'm doing this show. Clearly, I don't have much faith in the human mind at this particular moment.
I know.
Blah blah blah, explosions, blah blah blah, cringy, blah blah blah, he helped me up, blah blah blah, I like you now, blah blah blah, oh thank you. Wow, I gained her trust super fast, John thought before they saw Ozpin. Cue long speech which everyone here has read or has at least heard of, I'm not writing it down.
Wow. You know, Sneaky, I think that speech has a line in it which means you should skip this story and move to the next one the moment.
I believe that was the intention of the author's note.
Yeah. True that.
Blah blah blah, familiar girl with bow, blah 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 blah, man with two souls is good read, oh my god, you know this book? Oh my god, I'm so attracted to you.
Because that's totally how that works.
Blah blah blah. Oh my god, you like Ninjas of Love too? Oh jeez, we should all have sex sometime.
What?
I'm exaggerating, but that's basically what the author's writing.
I mean,
But, okay, look, here's the problem. I understand what the author's trying to set up here. But author, when you're trying to set up a romance based on mutual interests, you don't just have them go, oh, you've read this and that and the other thing, and now I immediately love them. That's not how it works. You establish a shared interest, you have them participate in that shared interest, and use the shared interest as an icebreaker, which then, guess what? Lets them get to know each other. And
But
as
that
they get to know
takes
each other, they love each other.
effort, man, and multiple chapters.
also
Yeah.
nose hair is sitting in
I'm
general.
aware.
Oh, that only took him nearly the entire podcast. Is Owl online yet?
Nope.
You son of a bitch.
He might have actually died. Don't worry, you can have him on Tuesday, I guess.
It's
Anyway.
a shame everyone here's gonna die, he thought with guilt.
Huh.
The Grimlands! Where did he go? Where did he go? Triple exclamation point! Yelled man with golden eyes and scorpion tail. We will find him, Tyrion. Rest assured he will be found. He couldn't have gone far, said woman who resembled Grim. John, wherever you are, I hope you are safe and well, Tyrion said, worried of John. Why do you worry, Tyrion?
Worried of
Woman
John.
asked. How can I not worry? He is my only son. And that's
This
a wrap,
person
guys.
claims to be from the United States.
What?
This author claims to be from the United States.
Mate,
Look,
you know all
the
kinds of
American
people
school
who
system
live in
is a
the...
letdown. it is not this much of a letdown.
I would like to point out that this story, with 5 chapters and only 12,000 words, has 87 favorites and 119 follows.
To be honest, Sneaky, you are kind of edging towards that mark yourself right now.
Yes, my point, that's because I'm crossing with Naruto. My point, though, is Atin here, who has wrote a story twice that length, with twice that amount of chapters, has a quarter of those numbers.
Oh, we'll get Atin's numbers up. Don't you worry about it.
No, look, I'm not here trying to up my numbers or anything, okay?
Those are rookie numbers, boy!
He's
They kind of are.
Once again, I'm writing my story purely for my own enjoyment, so I don't really care about.
That's how the best stories are written, right?
I'm aware, Atin, but my point still stands, is this pile of shit that doesn't know what grammar is, has never read a book, has never even been to English class.
Can you check those reviews, though?
But even if the reviews are all like, this is trash, it still has 87 favorites.
Yeah,
Speaking of cool, I am in the mood for cheap pizza. Send me that deal.
just go to their website. It's up there. It's a Final Fantasy 15 deal. You can't miss it.
Please separate the sentences. The premise is interesting, but this is fucking trash. Get a beta. Here's my reaction to the last. What?
It's brilliant.
Ozpin feel real OC. Kind of
that
makes me
guy's
not
actually
want to
really
read
right.
this anymore. As much as I love this concept, you really need to learn how to write paragraphs. New paragraphs, new paragraphs, new paragraphs, new paragraphs, new paragraphs. You spelled things wrong, new paragraphs. I love this story. I came here because of the premise. I noticed many mistakes. Oh, I'm sure they fixed it. Nope. I think I'll take door number 2 on this one. Okay. Well, so this story was trash, and everyone should regard it as trash.
And feel bad about ourselves.
And feel bad for even being here to witness me reading this out loud. Alright, so we got about 30 minutes left. Let's pull Nose Hair in here and get a good old, that's another Ruby story. Let's get some, no, it's a Ruby
Just
story.
get your story in here.
No, I'm not gonna cover my own fucking story. Not only is it 10k words long, I'm gonna be a little bit biased and I'm gonna fucking rip it apart and shit all over it, because I fucking hate my own writing. More Ruby stories. I got a Halo Mass Effect story here. Let's go.
Oh my god,
Fucking
444
Christ,
follows.
do your fucking
Good
job.
favorite.
Hello.
Hi, Nazir.
How's the
Anyway,
stream going, my lads?
Oh,
we hate it, and we
it's
hate
going,
most
it's going
human beings alive
fantastic.
now.
It's excellent. It's so good that we brought you in here.
Good, I got suspended from my job for 5 weeks because someone decided to not show up.
Wait,
Wait.
okay, we'll talk about that later. Also, Cruel, I can't find that deal, and I went to their website.
Wait, I'll link it to you. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to make Horizon Survival work on a new save file. That's fun.
That sounds fun.
Alright, so let's just get on with the show.
Yep. So yeah, okay, yeah. This is. I'm just bringing up the stats right here. I just want you to be minimized. So I'm just bringing up the stats right here for all 3 of the stories we have posted under our shared joint account.
Hey,
that's
real
the most
quick, does that violate the terms of service having a shared account?
No, I didn't.
To my knowledge, no.
I was gonna say, I don't think it does.
But also to my knowledge, I don't think they care. It's not like we're breaking the rules with it. And we are by far not the only ones who do it.
True.
There's several very popular authors that use shared accounts.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, moving on.
Alright, the promo code is I'm gonna message you the promo code. Give me a second.
So, as we said, this is Halo Mass Effect crossover: The Roads of War. Our galaxy is home to billions of stars. Each star could hold new life.
Each star could hold new life.
And every
I
life holds a new story. Commander Jane Shepard attempts to rally the galaxy against the Reaper threat, but a distress signal leads her to discover far more than she bargained for. As always, the story can be found in the Discord down below in case you wish to follow along. This type of crossover category is something that is pretty large for sci-fi nerds like ourselves, and it has lots of good stories, they're all shit, and several ideas, they're all shit. I've had a few ideas, and I'm hoping with y'all's input, whether or not to go through either one of them or the other. So for now, I'll just put this up and let you guys decide. But both of these ideas will take place during Mass Effect 3. Now, some of the events within the game's universe have been deliberately changed in order to further the storymatic tensions. Also, I deleted some shit from canon because it would interfere with the fucking plot.
Well, you see, author, when
No.
you're going to change things in the story, that is your right as an author. But, you should show us that, not just tell us that.
Well,
Especially because if you don't tell us what you've changed, when people get to the things that you've changed, they won't know if you're stupid and have made a mistake, or if it was something you deliberately changed.
that seems to be a running theme of today's podcast.
That's the running theme of all your podcasts. Every single one.
Every author is stupid, including us.
Yep.
Welcome to Two Idiots in Southern.
Definitely.
Mostly.
Prologue: The Spartan and the Shepherd. The night was bright with stars shining down as oh fucking no. I know we've covered this.
Have
Wow.
we?
We have covered this.
Seems like a recurring theme with today's episode.
This opening is definitely covered. Damn it. Okay. So, let's see what else we got. Crossover effect? Alright. Mass Effect. A strange phenomenon is cased all over galaxy when Crucible activates, but they nor I expected to see what it caused. My world has somehow merged with theirs, or which way is it? Turns out they know me just as much as I know them. I am a famous video game girl in their world, as they are in my world, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Original character.
Isley says, yeah, we've covered this as well.
What the hell are you smoking?
What?
Oh god, no.
I took exactly one Photoshop class.
Oh god, what the fuck has been posted?
See, that's a bad cover image, but it's not as bad as the Otsutsuki Transmigrants one.
Oh.
Which is
yeah.
Naruto with the fucking which is Harry Potter with the fucking Sharingan and the Tensei gun.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Made it in MS Paint. Isley says we've covered this one twice.
We think we've no, there's no way we've covered this one. Yeah, the other story.
Alright, other story. Yeah, he's talking about the other story.
A past Earth once has disappeared elsewhere in the galaxy. Relic Raider. My story.
It's like Tomb Raider,
It's
guys.
fucking
But
Tomb
no.
Raider.
no, guys, it's Relic. You don't understand. There's a difference.
just...
A descendant
Jeez.
of the two remaining heroes of modern Earth finds herself facing war of two worlds, making new friends allies from possible alternate future. As we find out, our enemies make a far deadlier alliance together that threatens not only existence of our worlds, time, and rest of galaxy.
I don't know how we read that out wrong, but it was actually written there correctly.
Prologue. General What Up Boy was waiting for his prize
Stop
student.
mispronouncing things.
No, that's his name!
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you butchered prologue.
General what up?
I'm not crazy, that's his name!
No, Sticky, I'm not talking about that. You did indeed read that correctly as far as I can tell.
Prologue, but yeah. I mean, isn't that how you read it?
Commander
Prologue.
Chris Hansen arrived as she came into the camp, not disappointing him as always.
If she doesn't say what up, I would be very disappointed.
He smiled at her as they saluted, knowing she did have shepherd blood in her.
She doesn't say what up.
What?
Not that it helped her into N7 program, but she was more cautious than her cousin. She always wanted a reason to come back home alive.
Oh.
As opposed to the general soldier who wants to die?
Oh.
Yeah? I don't know.
Commander
I don't
Chris
know.
Hansen was mostly by the book, always had an extra plan up her ass.
That's a lot of
Why
plans
did-
up their ass.
Oh, I have never heard that used before.
I will be using that from now on.
That is the first.
It
But if
definitely is.
all fails, she just made it up as she went. Her record wasn't perfect, but in everyone that known her, she was as good as her cousin Commander Shepard.
My
Shipar.
favorite part about this is she has her own special unique snowflake status to go along with the author's special unique snowflake dream.
Indeed.
I
Mate,
can't
mate,
wait
mate.
to crush it.
The author is known as, what's the relic thing? Relic Raider.
Unlike Shepard, she had Raider Stratus, something that hadn't been used in over 100 years.
Jesus Christ, the amount of
A
original
status-
OC do not steal is making me cringe.
A
Jesus
status
Christ.
that was thought to be like the Council Spectres, except humans only. As both a soldier and an archaeologist, and totally not a ripoff of Lara Croft, she made many discoveries as she found evidence.
Okay,
supposedly-
hold on. That's not fair. There's plenty of soldier archaeologists out there.
Yeah, like Atin.
There's
So
also
when did I
Indiana.
become both a soldier and an archaeologist? Sounds like things I
It sounds
could
like
do.
Atin's dream
Well,
job.
I mean, you certainly do a lot of shooting games, and then you also have to search for old relics, like down in the basement or in your room, because you don't clean it
Yeah,
ever.
but it sounds like a dream
My
job,
floor
doesn't it?
is immaculate. Piece of shit.
I'm joking. But look, there was some shit down in your fucking basement that I'm not sure has been touched in years.
Oh no, it hasn't. And guess what? None of it's mine.
Yeah, it's all the fucking girls' shit. I don't know why it's down there, though. I didn't touch it, by the way.
My mother is a hoarder. That's why.
Oh, that's not what I'm talking about.
I'm very wrong.
Would it be within the realms of possibility for you guys to cover Christian?
Oh boy, no.
Oh, no. No. Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Covering what? You know what? I don't know, and I don't want to
He,
know.
he created OC called Sonichu.
We're not doing Chris Chan. Absolutely not. I don't care how much of a meme it is. I don't care how much you guys want to do it.
This isn't
Absolutely
meme
not.
review. We aren't PewDiePie.
But he did write fanfiction.
What, PewDiePie or Christian?
Christian.
Okay, well,
That's why I said it's like it's not even a
Crossover
fucking fan fiction at this
fanfiction.
point. It's a fucking meme.
He
anyway,
invented
however, Hackett, and her staff decided not to expose the evidence she got until they got more solid evidence. No one liked the idea of it, but it was the safer solution to intergalactic panic. Then the evidence came in a massive scaled war, and now everyone was listening to Shepard and her too.
Everyone.
Her current ongoing investigation was into a Cerberus scientist named Dr. Sheldon. I totally didn't just finish watching Big Bang Theory, and no, I don't hate it for anyone asking. From her reports, Savick was planning to make the Crucible worked in their favor, which sounded bad either way for everyone. She had been ordered by Hackett to keep it quiet because she didn't have much evidence supporting the possibility it could be sabotaged.
Mispronouncing names on purpose, Sneaky.
It's part of his shtick, I think, at this point.
She's really annoying.
She agreed
What up?
as she... Yeah, General, what up?
What up?
What's up, fool?
You can't make that up.
I know he didn't.
Blah, blah, blah. She agreed as she continued finding ways to help Shepard with the fight against the Reapers. General, what up? I'm sure Hackett informed you into my investigation about Dr. Savick. She spoke as she showed him a scan of the man using her Omni tool.
And the man.
The General recognized the man immediately. Commander, I just saw this son of a bitch yesterday. Why is there... Wait, what?
What?
He and some Cerberus assholes nearly killed the number 2 squads. He's at top of Citadel Hill right now from what the scouts are saying. What?
What? I feel like we missed something important.
I'd like to talk to those soldiers that survived, please. Go find Miss Alenko.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
She will show you that to them in making makeshift recovery rooms. Thank you, sir, she said as she went to medical camp. I'm looking for Miss Alenko. I'm right here, she said as the commander looked to see blue-eyed Asian woman, almost the same height as herself.
Name's Alenko. Completely Chinese.
What do you say? Looks nothing like Caden.
What size would that be? Because we don't know how high you are, so being like, yes, this is as long as my dick. Hey? How large is that?
That could be anywhere from 2 inches to 6. Or in no
You're too generous.
1.5
to 4.
According to military intelligence, your dick is
Correct.
approximately 7 feet large.
That seems like that could cause some problems.
Hmm. Or fix some.
Oh my god.
No, I feel like that would mostly just cause some.
Or fix some.
What can I help you with? I'm Commander Chris Hansen. I'm a raider. Do you have news of my husband or son? I'm sorry, I don't, but I need to talk to the men who were ambushed by those rogue Cerberus troops, as opposed to the not rogue Cerberus troops. I'm afraid most of them aren't.
How
able
much
to
are
talk
you willing to
currently.
bet that Melanie Hansen is the real name of whoever the fuck wrote this?
Probably.
Likely. Blah blah blah. Thank you, Commander. Blah blah blah. VidCom. You had the idea of reclaiming the hill. Do you remember the tunnels under the hill? I remember the tunnels under the hill. I looked into the archives and I found the tunnels under the hill. Reported the tunnels under the hill are big enough. Okay, blah blah blah. I'm running out of ideas to work. This will be making it to the history books. It was already in the history books. That's how we found it. What intel did you get from the medics? From what Miss Alenko told me, some of it did and didn't surprise me. That doesn't answer
That's
the
not
question.
how that works. That's not how that works.
What's the intel? What's the report? Well, most of it surprised me.
But in space.
Okay, and? How so? Well, their tech was advanced. Whose?
Yes.
That
The
doesn't sound
magician's
good.
technology.
Yeah, and some of the prototypes she described to me using my sketchbook that they used. Wait, did they use the sketchbook? Or did... I'm getting my guys to take a look at them. Hopefully they'll be able to find weaknesses. A weakness by a sketch? Alright, ma'am, describe the gun to me. Okay, alright. Do you see any weaknesses in this gun here? You drew a gun.
Yes. Yes, I did.
What kind of gun? It's
Shooty shooty bang bang.
Tootie.
Shooty McShoot face.
Why are people stupid?
Because they are.
I mean, I know the short answer to that is because God is cruel and hates all of us, but
Thank you for calling me God.
Blah
I say
blah
God
blah
is
blah.
cruel
Have
and
you
hates
tracked
all of us.
down
I
Miss
know.
Alenko?
No,
Oh,
you are.
oh boy. Oh, have you tracked down Miss Alenko's husband or son? Well, we found that Major K. Alenko is now talking to his mom. He's in London fighting.
Okay.
hooray.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're going to use critical military technology to do. Hours later, dead Cerberus and more Reapers alive. Attack them! They were guarding something. It looked like the beam structure. Blah blah blah. He pushed a footlocker into the beam and then went into the beam. Attack the Reapers and cover my maritime ass, she yelled as she bolted to the beam. The soldiers responded as they covered her while she was weaved around everything as she ran then jumped into.
That sounds painful.
She
Very
saw light and then
I don't
woke
see any
up in
problems
keeper
here.
tunnels.
Carry on.
Commander Chris Hansen, said a voice. That was a nasty hit you took. Why don't you have shore leave? For how much longer, General? What up, boy? I groaned as I slowly got up. I think I've been playing Mass Effect way too much. I thought as I remembered my dream. Seemed way too real that I was watching myself fight the Reapers in Halifax, of all places. Hansen, you're the Relic Raider, aren't you? As long as you want. Shore leave, as long as she wants. Really.
Wow. That's a lot of shore leave.
That's how militaries work. Until the
Yeah, sure, they just let you go
absolutely
AWOL.
how they work. I don't know what you're talking about.
They just let you go AWOL, like whenever you want, dude.
Hey, whoa. You're right, sir. I stopped as I tried to remember what hit me in the head. What hit me? Some rock that had an electrostatic charge. Looked weird, so we sent it to the labs. Must have been a meteorite. If it fell from any more than 20 feet in the air, she would be brain dead. I don't know biology, but
What's biology?
it's gonna be
Hey,
a key
Sneaky,
plot
look, it's
point.
not as bad as whatever happened. What was that? The one terrible story we read where the guy got like 20 shards of glass in his feet and his legs were cut up and he was bleeding from every part of himself.
Oh, his bones were all broken and he was still walking around?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I remember that one. Normandy. Oh, the Reaper War was over. Oh, wow. That's easy.
Oh, just over, eh?
Caden went into his room, debating on playing his favorite game series, The Relic Raider, on his break. He had already finished the whole collection 6 times, but I guess I'll just play it again. Caden, I'm getting super weird readings coming from our solar system, said Joker, the person who shouldn't be contacting Caden. Also, why are they contacting Caden? Also, why is the pilot telling him about super weird readings and not to say 20 other people or the AI who are in charge of such things?
No.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't he be focusing on flying the ship?
Yeah, you would almost think that a pilot's job is to fly the ship.
I don't think it is, man. I mean, like,
And it's almost like there's an AI that would instantaneously be able to recognize weird readings and tell the appropriate people about them.
okay. Atin, logic is not this person's strong suit.
Of course not.
Oh god, okay. On my way down, Joker, he said, as he went into the elevator and he suddenly saw Ashley appear beside him, who had just said the same thing he just spoke. What the hell, LT, she said. Yeah, Ash, it's Major now, he corrected her. And suddenly they and the whole crew gotten a headache. As they realized what they might be going on, they were from different dimensions. Only difference was Commander Shepard and the outcome of Vermeer.
This is some cancer, ladies and gentlemen.
And you came in late. You missed some of the most interesting stuff at the very beginning.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
boy.
the bricks of text story.
Oh boy. I'm so glad I didn't miss that.
I guess I know how your migraines feel. Ash, that was nothing compared to the migraines. Oh well, is it still okay to refer to you as Scuttlebutt? Scuttlebutt is a term, not a nickname. She teased Caden, as Caden tried to keep a straight face. Yup, it's you alright. Who else would I be, Scuttlebutt? Some things never change, he muttered. I heard that, she teased.
Scuttlebutt sounds like some kind of illness, though. Hey, I've got Scuttlebutt. Oh, are you sure you don't need, like, a surgery for that?
Alright, so I got good news for you, lads! That was
Done.
it!
Yeah.
Alright, so lads, I shall see you all next time on Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9001, or with an impromptu sudden stream of interviewing for the Angry Owl dude who wrote the story A Simple Teenage Shop Owner. Highly recommend it. Definitely read it. It's completed. D times D Naruto. We'll be talking about that whenever we can get him on. He did not make it to this stream like he said he would, so I'll be poking him afterwards. Anyway, as always, the last week's archive will be going up to YouTube shortly. And if you want to catch us live, you can always be here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays and Fridays.
I would not recommend it.
So, I think that about covers everything I needed to say. See ya, everyone. Tell everyone you know about this podcast, because there's always
Yes,
more,
please do.
and it always gets worse.